know, this stuff is going to get lost, and I thought, who better to give it to than to Dave the Rave? So, you know.
I don't think that's ever been. I've never opened that up. It's just still folded from the day you sent it to me.
Well, that shows you how much class we had, Jeff, didn't it? You know, things, just little things like that. You know.
The reason he sealed it because you didn't want to see what was on the inside of that.
No, there's a 10-bob note.
Of the bills in there. But yeah, we just had. I mean, that's what the way we were. We just had. You know, Bob Waller said, "Wow, you know, great, and what you need is you need some like guitars, great guitars." So we got the Fenders, and then he said, "Right, guys, you look great. You know, you need some suits." So then we got the suits, you know, and then Bob says, "What you need now, guys, is you need a van to get you around, you know." So we got the suits thanks to Bob. We got the guitars thanks to Bob, and we also got, you know, the van thanks to Bob. So we had a little sign in the van, I think it was, and it says, "Never has so much been owed to so many by so few." Because no one tell you, no one made money in them days, I tell you. If we go through my diary after, you'll find this.
Just said about the Fenders on that. That's a later card. It says the Remo Four Merseyside Fenderman.
Yeah, that's what we were called actually. There was an American band called the Fendermen who did Skin and Blues, I think, Dave. And but we were always billed as in my scrapbook it'll say either the £1,000 Remo, or because that's what it cost us altogether, the £1,000 Remo or Liverpool Merseyside's Fendermen. So we were always billed as that, and even when we went out of town we was billed as that.
Harry's brought this along with him. It was a great little piece of original artwork, and they were looking for a badge.
We were looking for a badge to go on the Blazers. We decided against it at the end. If I could just, I have told the story before, Dave. We weren't sure what to do, and Dave's going to get me to explain to you how we got the name in a minute. But that was going to be a badge on the coat. I've got all the stuff here, Dave, for that.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, if there's a few more bits and pieces in there, if you drag out for me. But we were going to have coats, and then we got the jackets, and I think I've told a lot of you that the jackets were made by Edwina Curry's dad. And if you get a book called Leaving Liverpool, it's Edwina Curry's basically autobiography, but it tells about how she went to the Cavern and saw Rory and the Remo and everything like that. And her dad was subcontracted to make suits, thanks to him. And he went home one night, and she says this in the book, says to her, "You go to the Cavern, don't you?" And she said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, this group's been in to see me and asked me, they brought this roll of green material in, and they want to know, will I make some suits for them?" And she said, "Oh, great," you know. And he said, "The only trouble is one of them is a bit portly," which was Colin. Colin was quite hefty, you know. He wasn't really fat, but he was, you know, the rest of us were like sticks. And he said to her that with this green material, he said, they're going to end up looking like a load of frogs on the stage. So I actually wrote to her, and she sent me a signed book back, saying she often wondered whether her dad was telling her tales or whether it was a true story. Yeah. And she always said, "Thanks for making the story true," you know. So that was a nice little touch.
So tell us about the name.
The name came from, there was a song called Volare, and you probably all know it. Volare, whoa. Dean Martin did it, but it was made famous by the Marino Marini Quartet, who actually won a song contest with it, and the song title was the San Remo Festival. And I didn't know where San Remo was. You're not going to believe this, until about 12 months ago when I was walking around a car boot in Wigan, and I actually saw this for £1. And it's San Remo, so that's where the festival was held, in San Remo. Doesn't it look lovely? So I thought, I've got to have that for £1. So what happened is that the quartet, the Marino Marini Quartet, they were on the Empire because Volare was quite a big hit. In fact, that's the original sheet music. Got the original record, as they did, 78. And also, you ladies will understand, there was a magazine called Roxy. Well, that's the original magazine, and that was an interview with Marino Marini. about Volare and how they got there. And they were very, very big in Italy. And Don and Colin went to see them, and they came back because this guy, one at the piano, one sat there with a big gold guitar just playing, and they said, you know, what a great name. So Don, very clever Don in the artwork and everything. So between us, we came up with the Remo Quartet, so you can see where it's coming from. We couldn't call ourselves obviously the Marino Marini or anything like that, but we took the quartet and we took the Remo from the San Remo, so that's how we come up. So that's the true story of how we come up with the Remo Quartet. And then I think in the end of 1960, when it was rock and roll and we were doing the Cabin and places like that, then we decided the quartet was a little bit too old-fashioned, and you know, we didn't want cha-cha and all this on the card. So we went into Remo Four then.
Just I was going to say that the card there's Remo Four, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, those are a great little piece of artwork there. I think that's, how old's that now? It's going to be 50...
Oh, Don did that,
53 years old, something like that?
Must be, they'd be about 50, 58, 59 now. This here, Dave, is... this is the star of the show, really, because this is my original diary.
Yeah.
And this tells you, Dave, how much we got. I should have put something in, shouldn't I? This tells you how much we got and how much we were making.
First one's no.
I'm glad you picked up on that. 1959, I started keeping this diary. It's been brilliant because people like Rogue Best and Pete Best, who did a thing on the Casbah, never knew how much Mona paid everybody. They didn't have a clue. And they came up to our place once to do some filming. And I said, oh, I've got a diary, it's got everything in it, you know. He said, what? You know, you got in what Mona paid you. And I said, yeah, if you look down here, Dave, you'll pay our Casbah's book. We did 2 30 minutes. We got £3 between the four of us, and I think we had to have a van to get us there. So that was at the Casbah. But these are the first. Jeff will associate with this. These are the first 10 bookings. Merseyside Artists Club, fee none. Valley Social Club, fee none. Woolton Ward Labour Club, fee none. Then it goes Montrose Social Club, fee none. Old Age Pensions Club, Hatton, fee none. It's going to be unpacked in by then, to be honest with you. It goes right down, Dave, doesn't it?
What's that one there? That's a good one. Granada TV Studios.
Oh yeah, we went to do, there used to be a programme called People and Places, and I think it was Bill Grundy and someone else, I don't know who, I can't remember now, sometimes it goes. And we went for an audition there, and who waved us off at Lime Street Station? It was Jerry Marsden, because he used to work. But yeah, he waved us off, I can remember him doing that. But again, Dave, none. Yeah. So, I think the first booking we got, Dave, was what, round about £3, was it? Was it? Yeah. Was it £3? The Valley Social Club got us back again, Dave. After paying us nothing, they got us back and gave us £2. The best thing is, you've actually written the numbers that you did. I've written the numbers, yeah. So chewing gum. So yeah. Was that when your chewing gum loses flavour? Yeah. Yeah. Lollipop. Yeah. Tom Dooley. The lollipop was great because we'd been in a vocal harmony group. We used to go lollipop, lollipop, and then by the time the third one had come in, the harmonies were terrific. Yeah. Really were. And that was like 1959. But if we did a lot of weddings then. The weddings were the ones where you made the money really, and where you started learning your trade, you know. But if you jump to 60, Dave. You see, the money goes up now, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, but look, Dave, how no, it actually goes up to £4.
Five there.
It's a fiver. Yeah, there's £5 there. That was Hollyoak. That was Hollyoak. Probably the first time at Hollyoak. £5.
Cheap one, cheapskates there, Ollie. £2.10 shillings there.
Wilson Hall, Opal Place, £5. And the wedding, £7 on a wedding there, Dave. The Casbah Club again, you know.
There's £8 there, there's an £8.
Is there an £8 there? That must have been a wedding.
£7.10.
And they're all in here. Wilson Hall, Latham Hall, Hollyoak, Aintree Institute, £5. And remember, there's 4 of you, and you had a guy driving a van who used to take £1.25 off you. So you definitely wasn't in it for the money. But it's just all them places that you hear about now, Wavertree Town Hall.
25th May, funny, that's today's date.
Yeah.
The Alexander Hall, Crosby.
Yeah.
£5.
But look how many times we were playing, Dave. This is May 1960, yeah, Dave? The 19th, the 20th, 21st, the 23rd, 26th, 28th, 29th, 30, 1, 2, 4, 5. We was playing like 6 nights a week even then, you know, in them days. And then it goes on there, Dave, where the money really gets going now, Dave, doesn't it? £6, 15 shillings there, look at that, you know. And that was when the Beatles first started coming on, you know. We pushed the money up at the Cavern to £6 at the Cavern. So in 1960, in July,
it was a 7, no?
Oh, we got a £7 there, Dave. Yeah, we had to do 2 spots there, Dave.
No, we had 2.60.
So there was 2 spots there, so give us an extra £1. That was not awful. An extra £1 split between 4 of us at 25 pence each. So we definitely weren't in it for the money, really. You know, it was just the love of it, really.
But around that time, you were also playing the Iron Door as well, weren't you?
Did the Iron Door, yeah.
Which is where, when I first met you, all those years ago, and you got that cassette tape saying unreleased recordings. That's what
that's right,
made my eyes pop out.
We did. Have you got them?
I've got them in here. I mean, we played a couple before. I'll play. I think we've never played this one. The Stranger. This is when he said about Sam thinking there were shadows, thinking there was the shadows. This isn't what they were like. Why, can't you?
I've got to explain that to you, actually. That's it might sound a little bit tinny, but it was 1961, and thanks, Shal. And what it was is we just finished doing the Iron Door, and everyone had gone, and there's a guy called Dave Drummond had brought his tape recorder along, and most of you will probably have owned sometime a Grundig tape recorder with the square microphone. I think we've all had one of those. And he said, "Oh, before you pack your gear up, is there any chance, you know, you could do a couple of numbers into this microphone?" So that's what we did. That was in an empty downstairs in the Iron Door. I think we did 4 tracks.
4 tracks, yeah.